Welcome to the South Yuba River Citizens League 5th Annual State of the Yuba Community Address. It's April 18th and we're here at the Peace Lutheran Church in downtown Grass Valley talking to the community about our work. We had a full house here tonight and we're really excited to share all of our work with you. If you weren't able to make it or you want to learn more information, check us out online at yubariver.org or give us a call at the office at 265-5961. Thanks for coming.
I have seen her expertly complete mundane tasks, like refilling a stapler, spellbind an audience of nearly 500 people at a wild and scenic event, quietly take out the trash, skillfully paddle a boat, aggressively pull weeds, magically balance SYRCL's budget, not an easy task, and bravely build a house at the very top of a ridge looking down on the Yuba River. The list goes on and on. Tonight, she's going to talk to you about Centennial Dam and also about our work to raise SYRCL to the national and international level. Please welcome Melinda Booth.
Thanks, Rachel.
I think that's
Great. Hi. So I'm Melinda Booth, SYRCL's Executive Director, and I'm really excited to be here tonight addressing you all. Passion for environmental conservation has shaped my life. Throughout my career, I've aimed to engage in meaningful work, help lead efforts to make a difference, and contribute to positive change. Before joining SYRCL, I focused my career on saving iconic species like bears, wolves, and salmon throughout the American West. I've worked at SYRCL for about 7 years now, playing many different roles. Most of you who know me likely associate me with the Wild and Scenic Film Festival. I've been directing that program since 2011, and it's a program that I'm very passionate about and that I believe in deeply. The opportunity to work as SYRCL's executive director offers a platform where I feel that I can lead a team that makes a difference on a larger scale and in really diverse ways. I'm proud to have been selected last fall to step up and lead this organization. On a more personal note, the Yuba River is central to my everyday life. 8 years ago, my husband and I purchased land overlooking the South Fork just downstream of Jones Bar. I'm both lulled to sleep and awakened by the rush of her waters. I'm centered each day, watching her flow onward, never looking back. So not only am I professionally motivated to protect and restore the Yuba River watershed, but I'm personally invested to do all I can as well. On my very first day as executive director, September 25th, SYRCL and partners held a press conference about lessons learned from the Oroville Dam crisis. This was our legacy from 12 years prior when SYRCL was raising the flag about dam safety issues during the relicensing process. On day 5, I was posting a job for a new position, our river policy manager. It was sink or swim time, and I decided to paddle with all my might. The upriver swim continues, and as I transition out of directing the film festival, mentoring the next group of folks to lead this program, and I continue to immerse myself in the details of SYRCL's diverse and encompassing work. As I take on the full responsibilities of the executive director role, one issue that consistently rises to the top of each day's priorities is our work to stop Centennial Dam, which I'll talk more about in a moment. But the message I received on day 1 about speaking up and speaking the truth, that Oroville Dam crisis, came in loud and clear. Fighting this dam's a priority, as is speaking up for what's right in our community, our rivers, our natural and cultural landscape. It won't be easy, it's not going to be quick, but we're invested in doing what's right and we are in it for the long haul. So at my first State of the Yuba event here tonight, I'm really honored, truly honored to be representing our community's river conservation organization. And as you likely know, our mission is to unite the community to protect and restore the Yuba River. Thus, I'm thrilled to see so many Yuba River supporters here tonight. Thank you for being an active participant in your watershed. Yeah, that deserves a round of applause, you guys. "2018, 35th anniversary of SYRCL. For the past 3.5 decades, this organization has been working tirelessly to maintain and improve the Yuba. This emerald jewel is in the center of our community. Rachel just shared with you some of the large-scale restoration efforts from the headwaters to lower Yuba and some of our more behind-the-scenes work with SYRCL to do our best to ensure that there's water in the river for the salmon we so treasure. As I'm sure you realize, we're engaged in many more projects and programs than can possibly be highlighted here tonight, so I'm hoping you'll take a chance after the program to visit the tables that we have around the room and talk to some of SYRCL's staff to find out more about what we're up to. So tonight I'm going to talk about 3 efforts at SYRCL that represent what we are calling the Yuba Effect. The work that we do here locally has significance for the region, for the state, for the nation. Our work to stop Centennial Dam from being built has impact on water policy issues statewide. Our affiliation with the International Waterkeeper Alliance helps foster regional and statewide coalitions. And our Wild and Scenic Film Festival on Tour component furthers the environmental movement as a whole around the globe. Making a positive impact locally is still SYRCL's first priority, but knowing that our work often has a much larger reach and positive impact is even more motivating to our board, to our staff, to our volunteers. 35 years ago, a group of concerned citizens came together to oppose several dams proposed on the South Yuba. A 16-year-long fight ensued, but ultimately, SYRCL won protection for 39 miles of the South Yuba River under California's Wild and Scenic Rivers Act. This is not a new story. You've all heard this before. But it is a case study that reminds us that we know how to fight a dam. And once again, we're needed to help stop an irresponsible dam, this time on the Bear River. To summarize this dam project, the Nevada Irrigation District, or NID, has proposed to build a 275-foot dam on the Bear River downstream of where Dog Bar Road crosses the Bear, flooding the last 6 miles of publicly accessible, free-flowing river. They're calling the project Centennial. The Bear and the Yuba are hydrologically linked. Today, more than half of the water from the headwaters of the middle and the south forks of the Yuba is already diverted to the Bear River. As Pulitzer Prize-winning poet and our fellow Yuba River lover Gary Snyder once stated, the Bear is really the 4th fork of the Yuba. Bear River water is Yuba water, and one concern that SYRCL has is the inevitable increased impact on the Yuba should the dam be built. This is a massive project. As tall or taller than any other structure in Nevada County, it would create a reservoir larger than Rawlins, Englebright, Scotts Flat, and Spalding. And because the enormous new reservoir would flood the existing bridge and crossing at Dog Bar Road, NID would have to replace it with a new road and a new bridge more than 1,000 feet long, costing an estimated $54 million. That new bridge would be the longest and tallest bridge in the entire county. It goes without saying, but when a government agency decides to build the 2 biggest structures in the county, it's gonna be expensive. Hugely expensive. What nobody here can say with any certainty is exactly how big the price tag will be. The official guesstimates, however, keep going up. At a recent public meeting, one NID director put the expected cost at $500 million. Another stated that he wouldn't be surprised if it cost more than $1 billion. The reality is that it's unknown, but we know it's a big number and that it's only increasing as the project develops. But then there's the cultural and the community impacts as well. This project would destroy more than 24 family homes. It would drown 140 Native American cultural sites, including places where local tribes have been holding ceremonies for generations. Countless fishing holes, swimming holes, campgrounds, and beaches where families have been gathering for decades and generations would be wiped out. And the extremely negative environmental impacts cannot be ignored, like the destruction of riparian and wetland habitat, as well as 2,200 acres of forested river canyons, or species of special concern, like the yellow-legged frog, the yellow-breasted chats, the yellow warblers, and also ringtail cats live. This is a project in search of a purpose. This project was suggested back in the 1920s under the name of Parker Dam. It was passed over for decades. Other projects like Rawlins, Comey, and Camp Far West were built on the Bear River instead. This dam wasn't even able to be built in the heyday of dam building. I know we're once again nearing the 20s, right? But this time around, it's the 2020s, it's not the 1920s. I'd say it's time to update our thinking about what kind of project is a good one. Large water surface storage projects are old technology. They're status quo. Dams are inflexible. Dams have finite lifespans. They worked when our climate was predictable and when we didn't understand how detrimental they actually were to the environment. We no longer have that luxury. Not only do dams have temporary lifespans, they're incredibly expensive to maintain. Most dams in our countries actually have safety ratings of D or D-. Aged dams are extreme community liabilities. Remember the Oroville Dam crisis last year? And more specific to our community, mercury settlement and contamination are huge issues. Rawlins and Comey are both dealing with this toxic waste issue right now. Centennial would not be immune to this problem either. But where are we at with our fight currently? NID needs to secure water rights for this project, which will be approved or rejected by the State Water Resources Control Board. We filed a protest to their water rights application in the fall of 2016. That protest is still currently active, and we're engaged in a waiting game. We expect to know more after the draft environmental impact report is released. Recently, we've been actively engaged in protesting NID's application to the California Water Commission's Water Storage Investment Program for $12 million of public funds to help build the dam. We collected more than 3,000 signatures, mostly at this January's Wild and Scenic Film Festival, which opposed public funds being spent on this irresponsible project that doesn't actually meet the criteria of the funding opportunity. The Water Storage Investment Program mandates that projects must have a benefit to the public, including recreation and ecosystem benefits, as well as improvements to the Delta ecosystem. From the beginning, we knew it was a bad project in general, and also a project that didn't qualify for these funds. But through grassroots support and testifying at public hearings, we shared our concerns with the California Water Commission. We were pleased when they came to the same conclusion that we did, and they granted the Centennial project a public benefit score of 0. I'll repeat that, 0. So we brought a busload of supporters down to Sacramento, where we held a rally outside the California Water Commission meeting, protesting the dam, and asked for the next steps to be taken to find NID's Centennial project ineligible and to disqualify them as applicants. In fact, that's our action here tonight. It's a brand new ask. If you haven't already signed our letter to the California Water Commission encouraging the Centennial project to be found ineligible, please do so before you leave here tonight. There's a table at the back. We have a lot of volunteers tonight who'd love to help you sign up. In early May, we'll hand this second round of letters, and we'll hand it into the California Water Commission, and we just really need your help to seal the deal. The next step is to comment on the draft environmental impact report that we anticipate NID releasing before this fall. Once released, we'll have a 45-day period in which to review and comment. And we'll be reaching out to our dam watchdogs, asking you to participate in this process as well. In advance of the environmental impact report, we plan to hold some events this summer, including CEQA and NEPA trainings. In early August, we'll host an evening of film and a panel discussion about the danger and consequences, negative environmental impacts, and outrageous price tag of dams. As a society, we're moving towards removing dams, not building them. We hope you'll join us for the event. Our ongoing efforts, of course, include meeting regularly with our partners, like the Foothills Water Network, and our most dedicated volunteers, who were recognized here tonight, the Centennial Dam Working Group. We are continuing to fill the room at NID board meetings with our Dam Watchdog volunteers. We're staying abreast of new developments, making public comment, and continuing to demand transparency from NID, a public agency with an elected board of directors. In addition, we're tracking their budget and spending on property acquisitions. I think it's good to remember that the Nevada Irrigation District is a public agency. They're run by an elected board. Their mission is to provide dependable, quality water supply and continue to be good stewards of the watershed while conserving the available resources in their care. We're incredibly fortunate to live in a water-rich region in a state where water scarcity is a real issue. NID not only has a real opportunity, but also an obligation to be leaders in water management and resource management. It's time they change from being purveyors to being managers of water. A recent article that NID commissioned for the union was titled, "Conservation Drought Cost NID $3.8 million." This was in February in the union. It implies that with a new dam, NID users won't need to conserve water and NID won't lose money. This is a deeply troubling position for a public agency to take, especially one charged with stewarding water. Let's be clear about water for our communities. Water use is more expensive than conservation. In fact, NID has already spent more than $12 million on Centennial Dam. What if that money had been invested in conservation, technology, education? What if? With conservation and integrating new technology on the necessary scale, we can work on maintaining what is left of our rivers as our population continues to grow. We'll need to do more than retrofit and replace our leaky toilets and washing machines. We'll need to work together with NID on finding long-term solutions that draw on more sustainable, flexible technology rather than pouring a concrete wall into a river. With warming and dwindling snowpack, we must face the facts. Business as usual is not going to cut it. SYRCL believes that two heads are better than one, and that collaboration is good. I invite NID to take this approach with water management and to work with our community on a solution that meets collective goals. To do this, we must learn from others. We must seek information. We must value and model transparency. We need new and innovative thinking. I know that we're up for that challenge. Other NGOs across the nation are watching SYRCL and our fight against Centennial Dam. They're acutely aware that success or failure here could be precedent-setting for other dam proposals. One such group is the Waterkeeper Alliance. SYRCL is a Yuba River waterkeeper. Did you know that? Waterkeepers are focused on clean water, drinkable, fishable, swimmable water. There's a global alliance of waterkeepers that's more than 300 strong. They're patrolling and protecting more than 2.5 million square miles of rivers, of lakes, of coastal waterways on 6 continents. SYRCL was recruited to join the Waterkeeper Alliance as Yuba River Waterkeeper in January of 2016, and we said yes. This program is dedicated to fostering regional and statewide coalitions to address complex issues related to water quality and watershed health, including the restoration of wild salmon. Yuba River Waterkeeper's aim is to combine SYRCL's 35-year record of strong local and grassroots advocacy with the power of the Waterkeeper Alliance, an international coalition of river advocates. And it allows us to have a network of like-minded organizations to lean on as we navigate issues in our watershed. We're a member of the California Coastkeeper Alliance as well. This is a subset of the Waterkeeper family that focuses on the belief that a healthy ocean and coast and clean water is vital to California's economy, public health, and our way of life. I'm proud to serve on their board of directors. Coastkeeper is an experienced advocate advancing statewide policies and programs on our behalf. This national platform helps SYRCL, aka Yuba Riverkeeper, advance our campaigns and programs like our Lower Yuba River restoration work and stopping Centennial Dam. Our presence as a waterkeeper is another example of partnerships making us stronger, leveraging resources for greater success. A theme here tonight. Yet another Yuba Effect happens when our very own Wild and Scenic Film Festival hits the road and tours the world. I know the film festival gets 5 days to its own every January already in our community, so we haven't tended to highlight it at this event. But I think a little attention to our tour is well deserved this year. Over the past 16 years, the Wild and Scenic Film Festival has grown into one of the nation's largest environmental film fests. Wild and Scenic was created back in 2003 when we looked to celebrate our 1999 designation as Wild and Scenic River. To celebrate this victory, we created the festival to educate and inspire activism through film. The annual event each January is in both Nevada City and Grass Valley, and it kicks off a worldwide tour. With your help, we've created a turnkey event for other grassroots environmental organizations that can increase membership, raise funds, and engage community members. Since 2006, so only 3 years after we started this event, Wild and Scenic has been traversing the globe, illuminating screens in communities large and small, transforming audiences into congregations of committed environmental activists. Wild and Scenic partners with nonprofits, museums, nature centers, universities, and other committed groups who then produce unique Wild and Scenic events within their own community. These inspiring films and their messages could not possibly have this incredible reach without the foundation that SYRCL laid for them. We're epitomizing the phrase, think globally, act locally. We started off strong with 50 annual on-tour events. By 2013, we had 100. Today, we have more than 190 events on the books. And Teresa, if you can hear me, what's that exact number?
It's currently at 187.
Oh, 187. We had some people switch years. We're currently at 187. It's pretty close. But what does that really mean? What does 187 events really mean? Well, it means that cumulatively the world has seen more than 1,100 on-tour events. A huge accomplishment that feels like an even bigger win for the environmental movement at large. We're reaching more than 55,000 people each year with these inspiring films. Our partners who host an event leverage what we offer to raise more than $600,000 a year for their causes and campaigns. More than 7,000 people join or renew their membership to grassroots organizations due to the inspiration provided by these films. One of our organizations who's been hosting for a few years have this to say. This festival is more than just a night of watching films. It's an opportunity to engage with the world around us and educate ourselves on how we can help make a difference. More now than ever, we need to come together to find inspiration and make positive change happen. The Wild and Scenic Film Festival is the place to start. And this event supports SYRCL too. We make money every time another community hosts an event, and that funds our year-round conservation work. But more significantly than that, we reach a broader audience that allows us to attract national and international businesses to sponsor the film festival and bring their dollars to our community. Businesses like Clean Canteen, Barefoot Wine, Cliff Bar, Sierra Nevada Brewing Company, to name a few. Maybe you've heard of some of them. And we're able to support the folks who make these films. We pay royalties to our filmmakers to support their art. We believe in supporting their efforts to tell these important stories, and they receive a stipend each time their film's screened, because we want them to keep making more films. This incredible impact deserves our attention and appreciation. We are leveraging our local success into local successes around the globe. Wow. And I'll just note, we wanted to get a real close-up here for you. It doesn't include our international events, Alaska or Hawaii, which there are several. So there's more than this. So what is the state of the Yuba? Right? That's why we're here tonight. Well, there's a lot of work to do to get things where we need them to be. And we'll be working on them for a long time to come. But there are proven successes that inspire us to be steadfast. And there's hope to motivate us in times of uncertainty. In fact, just last week, a reporter from Vanity Fair magazine was here, interviewing us as Yuba River Waterkeeper, and I had the pleasure of spending all day with him touring the watershed. He'd spent the month visiting the 10 California coastkeepers and learning about their work. He articulated to me that what he found unique about SYRCL and our community was that he felt hope. Our community offered that to him in just one day. He felt it palpably, and I have to admit that I do too. I value that positive outlook that we surround ourselves with here. We could not achieve these successes and have this level of influence if not for one of the most dedicated, hardworking, smart, and passionate teams around. I'd like to wrap up tonight's event or my speech at least, by thanking the SYRCL Board of Directors for their time, for their energy, for their guidance. I'd like to express my gratitude for each of you here tonight and to all SYRCL members and volunteers. Your support carries us through and makes us strive to do our best work every day. But I'd especially like to acknowledge and thank SYRCL staff who live and breathe these issues, these programs, these challenges day after day. I continue to be in awe of all that we can accomplish when we work together. Thank you all so much for being here tonight.
Hi, I'm Rachel Hutchinson, SYRCL's River Science Director. Thank you so much for coming tonight to the 5th Annual State of Yuba Address. Tonight we talked about all sorts of topics, from meadow restoration to floodplain habitat restoration to Centennial Dam. If you want to learn more, please visit yubariver.org or come visit us at the office in Nevada City. Thank you.